Hey, everybody. Nice to see you all here. Thank you for being here, Susie. We are super excited to bring this to you today. It is April 24th, 2024, the day that Stephan Sterns was charged with the murder and the Madeline Soto's death. Um,
Yeah, the day that her family, I'm sure, have been waiting just so impatiently. I don't want to say the word impatiently, but I guess on the edge of their seat is a better way to describe it. It's the day we've all been waiting for, and I'm so glad that they finally have an indictment.
yeah, and just apologies for being a little bit late. Um, I actually thought I was already live, and me and Kaylee are just talking back and forth. And then I look up and go, wait a minute, we're not even live. That's where, I mean, my mindset today, I got a message from Facebook that Madeline Soto's Facebook name had been changed. I click on it. I immediately see that these charges were brought against the creeper. And I get a hold of her immediately and I'm like, okay, got to do something, got to update it because she's literally the only other child that we've really covered besides Michael Vaughn and Kyron Horman. And I was ecstatic to see this because he is one sick POS for real. Hey, Zane Lily. Hello, Amy in Boston. Nice to see you. Hello, Susie. Good to see everybody here. I know this was like super, super, super spur of the moment, but when updates like this happen, you just got to jump right on it and talk about it. And at least, I had to talk about it because I'm so excited of that he got charged.
Right.
That is what's so important to me. Um, you
I
know,
know. Right. It's sometimes confusing. I've mentioned the justice system moves slow, and it's confusing when he's was arrested. It seems like quite a while ago, but was never indicted for anything that happened to her regarding her passing. There were other charges related to what his conduct and the things that he was doing, which are just horrible. But you could sit there and wonder, why isn't he getting indicted? Wwhy is it taking so long?
well,
But
seven and a
this is
half
actually
weeks.
it's
It's only
actually
been
pretty
seven and
fast.
a half weeks. It's been
I know.
actually, I was just going to say, it's been pretty fast, actually.
I
I
know.
feel like and, right after this happened, you had Sebastian Rogers come up missing too.
Right. Exactly.
And we're
I
just
know.
all sitting here like, oh my gosh, wasn't it the same day? She's reported missing February 26th. Wasn't that the same day that Sebastian Rogers went missing from his house?
Let's see.
I'm pretty sure.
I don't have his date absolutely memorized, but let's see. Yeah, February 26th. Yeah,
Yeah, they
February
both went
26th.
missing on the same day. I just realized that. Wow. So there were a lot of 911 phone calls made um, by Jen, the mom, by other family members. And I kind of want to just start there. It's 8 minutes though, and I'm going to be sharing my screen, but I want to play it and let everybody hear. Hello, Sunday, Sunday. I love that name. It reminds me of like a chocolate sundae, and now I
Right?
need one.
Oh my gosh,
I'm
that
like,
sounds good.
Sunday, Sunday, yum.
We had ice cream yesterday from my son's concert at school. It was a perfect way to end the night. So Sunday, Sunday,
I
perfect.
set me some goals, and I've been going to the gym and working out and eating good and been gluten free and have not been eating sweets. My body feels better. My mind feels better. Um, yeah. So I
Hmm.
really, really, really want that Sunday, but it's not going to happen unless
Good
I
for
can
you.
find me some good carb smart ice cream or something.
Right. I'm sure it's out there, but I hear you. Good for
Right.
you.
Well, thank you. Yeah, let's just get right into this. Let's put up these 911 phone calls and let everybody hear how February 26th 2024 started the day that Madeline disappeared, the day after she celebrated her birthday. Now, let me see. We are going to share my screen. Can you see me there, Kalia?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so this is 3. Let's just look real quick. It is 3 911 phone calls. I believe it says here 3 911 calls, which were placed in regard to the disappearance of Madeline Soto, reporting on February 26, 2024. These were provided by News 6 on April 4th. Yeah, and they combined all 3 together. So you're going to hear Jen, I believe, an aunt and her grandmother. Is that correct?
Yes, Jen's sister and Jen's mom, I believe.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get into this since it's an 8-minute clip.
911, what's the location of your emergency? It's
I can't hear
And
anything.
specific apartment number, ma'am? It's
Oh, it's being redacted.
And do you need police, fire, or medical? Police, possibly. I'm reporting a missing child. Okay. And what is the name of the business there, ma'am? The business? Okay. And the child that you're trying to report missing, are you calling on behalf of the parent? Yes, on behalf of the mother. Okay. Okay. And then and ma'am, how old is the child? And could I go ahead and get her name? Yes, it's. And is she white, black, or Hispanic? She's white. Okay. Blonde hair, dirty blonde hair, blue eyes. Okay, hold on with me here. And then, what color shirt and pants was she last seen wearing? Hold on, let me ask. Then, what color shirt and what was she last wearing? Hold on, we're finding out. Okay, and then how long has it been though since you guys have last seen her? Since this morning. She was dropped off at school this morning, and apparently she never showed up. We called everyone we knew. No one's seen her. Okay. And then, ma'am, I just want to confirm, though, was she last seen from this address? Is this where you guys last saw her? No. She was last seen at the church next to Hunters Creek Middle School. I think it's called Peace Church. I'm not sure of the exact address. She was wearing a dark green hoodie, I believe. What is the name of the church? I think I'm pretty sure it's called Peace Church. It's the one right next to Hunters Creek Middle School. No. Got it. It's across the street from it? I believe so, yeah. There's 2. I just forgot about the other one. It's not Focal Point Church. It's Well, is it Peace United Methodist Church? Yes. Okay. That one. Okay. Is she diagnosed with any medical, mental conditions at all? I know she takes medication for ADHD, and I'm pretty sure that's it. Okay. Sorry, bear with me here. And is she known to carry anything on her person, like a pocket knife, pepper spray, anything at all like that? No, okay. No, nothing like that. Does she have a cell phone that she might keep on her person? She doesn't. She had one when she left at home conveniently today. Okay. Right there. It's over there. Okay.
And ma'am, what is your name?
My name is.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. And just so we recognize you when we arrive there, though, at the advance to come meet with you guys, are you, ma'am, white, black, Indian, Asian, or Hispanic?
I'm Hispanic.
And what color shirt and pants will you be wearing?
Pants, dark wash jeans. I have a green cardigan on and a white shirt.
Thank you. And I just need to verbally confirm this all. Do you have any at all weapons on your person?
No, I do not.
Okay. All right. And are you going to be waiting for us inside?
Yeah. I'll come outside. I still see through glass. So I'll see when you guys show up.
Okay, perfect then. So then I'll get a call placed for service. We'll have deputies out there to come and make a report with you and to come and assist with trying to find your. Okay.
Okay. Her mother and my. They're going to the school to double check and everything, but from what we know, she wasn't there. So they should be back soon too, because it's right next to the school.
Yeah, that's fine. So if at least one of you remains there, though, to meet with an officer, that's more than fine, okay?
Yeah, I'll be here.
Okay, then. All right. Thank you so much, ma'am, and I'll go ahead and let you go. We'll be out there as quickly as we can, okay?
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye, ma'am.
So I believe that is Madeline's aunt. And as you can hear, they talked about her going to the school to be dropped off instead of actually going to school. And the other key thing is it talks about Madeline's phone being left behind, which a lot of people have talked about. A 13-year-old girl leaving her phone behind is a little unusual, but I guess her mom has said in interviews that she sometimes would do that because she has ADHD and she just forgets to bring things. And we all know now she was never taken to that church ever to be dropped off, to walk to school. That is what Sterns said. And it is not true.
Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
911, what is the location of your emergency?
Okay, police or medical?
Hi, I called not that long ago reporting a missing child. I just wanted to know how long the cops are going to take to get here.
Okay, hold on. Let me open up the call and let's see. The call is still currently pending to have the deputies respond out there, but we don't have any available deputies. We still have the call up, though, holding.
Okay, so no one's on their way yet?
Not yet, no.
Does it take long for them to respond to the call?
If there's a big emergency in the area and there's no units available, they put the calls on hold. But as soon as one becomes available, they respond to the next pressing call.
I just want to add here that we learned in the beginning that Mom didn't call 911 till 8 p.m. She went missing at 4:30 p.m. Mom goes to the school to pick her up. She's not there. So if this is Mom's original first phone call, this is at 8 p.m. I am not sure what time her aunt called or anything, but yeah, her mom didn't call until 8 p.m.
That is actually.
Yeah, we just need one here urgently. So
I understand.
What were you going to say, Doll?
I was just gonna say I didn't know that. That's actually
Who
sad
and
and
hours?
yeah, that's sad and surprising. I didn't know that.
I mean, yeah, if I went to the school to pick up my kid at 4:30 and they weren't there, and she also talked to people at the school and they told her she hadn't been at school all day.
That was going to
So
be my next question. That makes it 10 million times worse too.
Yeah, she's been missing all day long from school. She wasn't there. She talked to the teacher. She waits till 8 o'clock. She thinks maybe she could be at a friend's house. She, goes around looking for her and everything else. But I'm just saying, if my kid's not at school, I call
First
some
call.
friends. I go look around a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm going to call ASAP if I can't find her right off the bat.
Right. If her first like, best friends don't know,
Yeah.
then yeah, it's definitely within the first hour at
And
least.
grandma worked at somewhere near the school where mom also went to see if she just like walked to grandma's work. She wasn't there either.
Yeah, that's just, I'm sorry to Madeline that, I mean, I know she had already passed by that point, but that is just sad. But I'm not trying
Well,
to
it's
pass.
suspicious.
Oh, definitely. I mean, that's what I mean. It's sad as far as it definitely is not helping her mom's case at all. And as far as that her mom isn't involved in any way. In fact, I've, just while we're kind of paused, I've wondered, because the investigation does take a long time, it's not over for her just because Stephen might be charged. They could both be charged separately.
Oh, wait until you hear the news conference.
Oh my
They
goodness.
make a statement about how, well, you'll see, and then I'll
Okay.
point it out.
All right.
Let's keep.
We still have the call. We still have the call holding.
Yes.
Yep, we still have the call holding for them.
And just to point out, there's no officers available. We have a child missing and there's no officers available. What's going on? This girl's been
Yeah.
gone 3.5 hours. Where the heck is the police officers?
Right. Where's the urgency from anybody? Like, just crazy.
Especially knowing she's been gone all day. Wow.
Mm.
I'll go ahead and update them with the information.
All right, thank you, because this happened very recently, so we just want to get everyone here. She's been missing since 8 a.m., so we want to get everything done as soon as possible to try to find her.
I understand.
Okay. Thank you.
911, what is the location of the emergency?
They're redacting addresses, you guys, when you hear it quiet.
Okay, what's going on? Do you need police, fire, medical?
No, it's not a medical issue. We have a missing child since this morning. We already called 3 times. And the
This is
police
Grandma.
didn't show up yet.
Are you looking? Or
Yes.
do you know? Okay.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am, I see it right here for you. Yes, ma'am, I see it. This is waiting for a deputy to respond.
They haven't come here yet.
I'm aware, ma'am. I see it. It's waiting for a deputy to respond.
You're waiting for a deputy to respond?
Yes, ma'am.
And how long more do we need to wait? It's a child missing.
I understand that, ma'am, but I'm just not able to give out ETA. I don't know when they'll be there.
So how long do we need to wait? This
Ma'am,
is an emergency.
Ma'am, we have the information, but they're trying to get to someone as soon as possible.
So this is not important.
I am sorry, I would not be that calm. I would be like, where in the are you? Come now. This kid's missing. Like, my granddaughter's missing. Get your asses here. Let's go. Like,
Right.
I couldn't be that calm. I could not be that calm. I'm glad grandma can be that calm. Yeah, I would be angry at this point.
Me too.
Made 3 phone calls. Nobody's there yet. She's been missing since 8 a.m. in the morning. Wow.
You're wondering nobody's taking me serious, and my kid is out there somewhere. What the heck?
And-
I would be so livid too.
Yeah, this is the first time I've heard these, by the way. We got these download. Heidi found them for us, and then I would put them up to screen share because we literally threw this live together in just a couple of hours or so. So I haven't even had a chance to listen to all this, but I'm so irritated. I'm so irritated right now.
For you guys? Really?
Ma'am, we are very busy in the area. Look, I understand. They'll be there as soon as they can, okay?
And this is why the system fails kid all the time.
Mm-hmm. Right. I just can't believe it. Like, what other emergencies were happening? They don't have one single officer to send over? That's just outrageous. And if I were them, I'd be saying like, I mean, I don't want to get myself or anybody in any trouble, but I'd be saying something like, if they weren't listening, I'd be like, help, somebody's chopped their leg off. Or I don't know. I
Right?
would I would
Something,
get them
right?
there. I would get them there. Like, I don't know. Or like Callie Dime says, get down to the police station. What is going on? That's just crazy.
Hello, Chaos Queen. Yeah, there was no notification. I am so sorry. It was last minute. Yeah, YouTube must have failed me with the notification. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate you being a mod. Thank you, Zane Lily, also for being a mod and being here, helping us take care of our chat. We appreciate you all so much. Yeah, I'm just sitting here so totally floored by these 911 case or Kylie Dime, right? Same. I'd be down at the police station. Yes. Like, what the heck? Absolutely. Like, that's what I'm talking about. You don't get here in time. Yeah, my ass is driving down to the police station. I'm getting there. Somebody's going to listen to me.
Yeah.
I mean, we know now that she was gone, but I mean, at this time when they're making these phone calls, they don't know she's gone. They
Right.
don't know what's happened to her. This is straight up a fail
It
in
makes
the
me
system. A child is missing. Where's the urgency? Something
yes.
needs to change.
Something needs to change. And I know that, I mean, I don't know exactly where, like I've never actually looked into the demographics or the area and how big the city is, where she lived or anything like that. But it makes me feel lucky to live where I live because I know my police station. I've called them before and I've known that they've responded quickly. Um, I have actually, it's kind of funny. I laugh all the time. I have non-emergencies for the Oregon City Police Department saved as a contact in my phone because I used to do like DoorDash and Instacart and things like that. And you just never know. And I've called several times. And then when I would drive back on my way back, they would have already responded. And it makes me feel grateful to know that even on a silly little call that is I consider a non-emergency, the police end up showing up within 5 to 10 minutes. I cannot believe that a missing child did not dispatch and it took more than 3 calls for somebody to finally get their butts over there.
Right.
Disappointing. And
So disappointing.
I hope that they're, I mean, like you said, I know she had passed. I don't know exactly what can happen, but sometimes lawsuits do help change and cause reform. So if there's any leeway for that, that's just outrageous. Calling several times and no urgency, that's just not what you expect.
And I don't know how many people in chat are familiar with his case. There are a lot of people that are, there's a lot of people that don't. We do have the complete press conference, but unfortunately, towards the end of it, all you have is the DA office saying, like, can't comment type stuff. And we do have docs. But I also wanted to briefly just kind of go over the timeline here in case there is anybody here that doesn't know the case. Madeline Soto disappeared on February 26th at 4:30 p.m. from Kissimmee, Florida. It was the day after her birthday party that she spent with family. Stephan Sterns took her there. Her original birthday was Thursday, February 22nd. Madeline was reported missing, and let's just see. We already went over that mom went to the school. And according to investigators, in addition, Soto's phone was left at the home. We already knew that. On the 27th, Orange County Sheriff's Office issued a release to the public about Soto's disappearance, asking for information about her whereabouts. And on the 28th, a massive search was conducted by the Sheriff's Office on February 28th, and Orange County Sheriff said that deputies accessed Soto's phone, finding information that indicated she wanted to live in the woods. This is Madeline saying she wanted to live in the woods when she turned 13 years old. And that was on February 22nd. He also said that deputies searched the area where she was last seen and um, areas where they had received tips and any areas where their investigative leads took them. Ultimately, the search came up empty. However, the sheriff's office announced that Stearns was arrested as the prime suspect in the Soto's disappearance. And in that release, investigators said that they discovered disturbing images that were on his phone when he said that he had, sorry, my mind went somewhere else. So he told law enforcement that he had done a reset on his phone, a factory reset on his phone, the day that she came up missing, by the way. Like, what? You're gonna reset your phone?
Yeah.
Police find all the information in his device. And it showed that someone had, I mean, like, he had tried to delete all of the evidence that was inside of his phone.
Yeah, I'm sure he was probably freaking out. But the thing is there is technology is, if you don't have if you're not a technology expert, you don't have a good grasp of how that works. I mean, I'm sure even after a factory reset, obviously it was still there deep in, they could retrieve it. And I mean, when's the last time anybody did a factory reset on their phone? Just like out of the random. I can't tell you the last time I did a factory
And he
reset
said
on my phone.
and he said he accidentally did it. I mean, there are a bunch of different stages that you have to go to factory reset your phone and
checked like 5
confirm that
times.
you actually want to do it.
Yes.
And yeah, supposedly he accidentally. So they found images and videos that were on his phone, both criminal and S in nature. And the detectives were able to pinpoint those crimes to the family's home, where she lived. And as a result, Stearns was arrested and held on no bond. He faced facing charges of S battery and possession of child S abuse materials. Sturt had the opportunity to come clean with detectives and help lead them to information about Madeline's disappearance. Her loved ones deserved the answers. He did not want to give any information out whatsoever, and the Kissimmee police will not stop, is a comment that they made, that they weren't going to stop until she was found. And 7.5 weeks isn't a long time.
No, it isn't. I was just making a point that I saw people saying, why hasn't he? That's weird. It really isn't in the matter of like the justice system. 7.5 weeks, they were able to show enough evidence to the grand jury for the grand jury to say, yep, a crime probably occurred here. And now it's just a matter of, I don't even think it's going to be a matter of anything. They probably have a really, really, really strong case against him. I'm just curious. I know I'm speculating. I don't normally go off. I'm just curious, what the strategy is, if there is anything with the mom. Sometimes, as we know in other cases we've covered, sometimes the recorded jailhouse phone calls, I don't know if they're in contact with each other still. I would hope freaking not. But
right,
you never know. I don't, they're probably really monitoring her and seeing what she's doing and how she's acting. And
yeah. On February 29th, the affidavit for the Stearns arrest was released, which was provided more details about the investigation. And according to the affidavit, Stern told detectives that he had dropped Soto off in front of Peace United Methodist preschool at 8:40 a.m. the morning she disappeared. And despite the middle school being further down the street and starting classes at 9:30 a.m., detective says this appeared unusual, and while license plate reader captured Stern's vehicle at some point, the details about where and when this happened were redacted from the report. In addition, the affidavit shows that Stern told detectives he had accidentally performed the factory reset, which we've already talked about. And then on March 1st, during a news conference, investigators were confident that Soto was already dead, have been killed at the Kissimmee home before Stearns moved her body. 7:35 in the morning, he gets rid of her laptop from school and her backpack in the garbage can there in their apartment complex. At 8:19 in the morning, he's seen on camera with Madeline's body deceased in the back seat. The timeline from when he was actually seen changing the tire on the side of the road that a witness saw, and that's how they actually found her body. He had been driving around with her in the car, deceased, for 6 hours or more.
What?
Yes.
I knew
A
it was a
long
long
time.
time, but I did not realize it was that long. Wow.
Yeah, well, he's putting her stuff, she's gone. Something happened in the middle of the night. They know that it happened there at the house. They know he did it. And they find all the information out on their phone a couple of days later. But yeah, the timeline of the day is 7:35, backpack and laptop go in the garbage. 8:19, they're seen on camera. Madeline's deceased in the back seat. They can tell. And 4:30, mom goes to the school, but he's been driving around and everything else, and he didn't come back to the house until later in the afternoon. I want to say it was like after 2 p.m. So you got like 7:30 in the morning till 2. I mean, yeah,
Wow,
you're looking
yeah.
at like 6 or so hours.
Wow. I
Chaos
cannot.
Queen. I think they were just waiting for the final autopsy. Toxicology can take up to 6 months. In my opinion, it's just a matter of time before mom gets some type of charge as well. In the press conference that we're going to show, there is a direct, they don't say her name, but there's like almost like a little hint about the mom, and we'll be playing that shortly. But I totally agree. I think something's going to happen to the mom. And yeah, let's see what else we got here. And we know Madeline's body was found 5 days after she disappeared. So Stephan Sterns is arrested on February 28th. And that's just 2 days after she came up missing. And that's because of what they found on his phone.
Right.
March
Jeez.
1st, during a news let's see, an according, oh yeah, this talks about the dumpster and stuff. And then the sheriff's office later said that it found Soto's backpack and her school laptop in the dumpster. Stern reportedly dropped Soto off near school that day. That wasn't the case. We have evidence that shows Sterns returning to the complex, Madeline visible in the vehicle. We believe she was already dead at that time. After another long search in Orange County, on the 1st of March, deputies finally recovered Soto's body from a wooded area off a Hickory Tree Road in Osceola County. Yeah, and then that night there was a vigil. I was really thankful that they found her so fast and that this didn't turn into, I mean, like, look at Sebastian Rogers right now. It's been 2 months and they haven't found him.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Seth's going crazy. I'm just saying, like, I'm really thankful that they found, yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Found her. On March 2nd, Sterns waived his first appearance in the Osceola court. Instead of being represented solely by his attorney, the judge granted Stern a no bond. Aside from that, the Instagram account from Osceola County, confidential crime scene photo, which was, there was a photo of Madeline's dead body that ended up being shown online.
I can't believe this. The absolute, like, how does this even happen? the carelessness of whoever. I know they identified the officer who did it, and I know it was an accident, but this was a pretty big mess up here.
It was an Osceola County Sheriff's officer
I cannot
that
believe
posted
that.
a confidential crime scene photo, which the agency later told News 6 had been accidentally shared with the public.
That's horrible, and I'm so sorry to Madeline and to her family that happened. My goodness.
Yeah, it's this is a very, I don't know what it was about her case that just reached out and just grabbed a hold of me. I think it was also because of the other young lady that, they had found her body down in Texas, another Stephen.
Yeah.
And she was found in the water, SA'd, the whole 9 yards. I mean, and then this happened, and I don't know. It just really touched me. The clothes seen in the photos were consistent with the outfit that Soto was believed to be wearing when she was reported missing. Let's see. Earlier today, a post was made on social media about a community event for seniors. That is where it was a community event for seniors where the picture was shared. Can you imagine that?
How do you even mess that up? How do you even mess that up? That
I don't
makes
know.
no sense. Like, I mean, every one of us posts to Facebook every day. I mean,
Yeah. It
how
says
does
that the
that
photo was
happen?
immediately removed. We deeply apologize for the confusion in this disturbance this may have caused. Yeah, I would imagine you have a bunch of older people, and I mean, I wonder how many of them seen it. And I mean, like, if you have any of them with like Alzheimer's or anything else or any ongoing mental issues, seeing that photo could have been very disturbing to
I'm
somebody of
sure,
age like that.
yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes, I'm sure it was. And I don't know if you're going to read this part, but I remember reading that Madeline's dad came out and talked about how he had to warn his family about, this photo was leaked out there, and he was afraid of
Oh.
online trolls trying to torment his family by sending it to them, because even though it was only up for a minute, it only takes just a brief second and there's
Yeah,
a
it doesn't
screenshot.
take long.
No, does not take long. Somebody grabbed a screenshot, and I'm sure it was shared around, and that's just as utterly sick. Ugh, I hate it.
Chaos Queen says, same. These cases are absolutely heartbreaking, and they are. And I actually found an interview that a news station did with her dad that I also have a clip of. I've got a few little clips, and then the press conference. I'm just trying to get through these dates to just kind of let everybody know what's been going on. March 5th, the state attorney office told 6 that it had asked the Florida Department of Law Enforcement to investigate the released crime scene photo.
Right.
March 6th, Kissimmee police announced that they were continuing the investigation in Soto's death. They released court documents that showed that Stern is accused of abusing Soto for years. Despite Stern's attempts to wipe his phone, investigators were able to recover files showing the abuse, which steamed back as far as 2022, an arrest warrant affidavit says. So, upon reviewing the contents of Stern's phone, several images and videos were located which depicted the missing juvenile. The affidavit reads, our detective and forensic unit are working tirelessly to uncover the truth behind this heartbreaking incident, and at this time we are unable to release any further information. This remains an ongoing and active investigation. We now know that 60 counts were filed against Stern, including 8 counts of S battery on a child under 12, 5 counts of S assault with a child 12 to 18, 7 counts of lewd and lascivious S abuse, 40 counts of unlawful possession of materials depicting performance. Do you guys understand? Performance. Or performance by a child. That made me sick to my stomach. I'm sorry. A pretrial hearing is scheduled for April 24th, and a jury trial is slated to begin on May 13th. Kissimmee police told News 6 that they were continuing to investigate Soto's death. I am just sick to my stomach. I mean, I've already gone over this case, but it's just sick. What a POS. Yes. Chaos Queen saw the video of Madeline's dad. Yes, it is absolutely heartbreaking. He is heartbroken. Justice for Madeline. Absolutely. March 21st, Kissimmee Police Chief Betty held a news conference to discuss the progress of the investigation. She described the investigation as very intricate and that detectives want to make sure that they uncover every single fact and the evidence. We don't want to put out a timeline on it yet. Basically, because the detectives are very meticulous in what they do and what we want to be sure that everything is uncovered and that we possibly can. During the conference, Holland was asked whether Soto's mother was considered a suspect or not, and everyone was close to Madeline is considered a suspect until we have proven otherwise. That was one of the first press conferences. I actually went over this with Brooks on Crime Lines and Lies, how they actually said that when the reporter asked if she was a suspect. Everyone is a suspect until proven otherwise. And that told me right there, in my personal opinion, I believed at that time that she is a suspect and they are investigating her. Because they took her phone too.
Right. Oh, 100%. And nowadays, they really can go deep on people's phones. I mean, they probably made a copy of it and spent days going through it.
Yeah. On April 4th, the medical examiner's office announced that the autopsy report in Soto's death could not be released due to the state statutes deeming it confidential because of her age. In addition, that the 911 phone calls that were involved were also released at that time, which we've already gone over. And then on April 24th, Orange Osceola State Attorney Andrew Bain and Kissimmee Police held a press conference and announced that Stephan Sterns was indicted by the grand jury in the death of Madeline Soto. The evidence shows an individual who was entrusted to keep Madeline safe made calculated moves to dispose Madeline's belongings and place her body in a wooded area before she was ever reported missing. And Kissimmee Police Chief Betty Holland Kissimmee Police Chief Betty Holland. State Attorney Andrew Bain said his office has not yet decided whether it will seek the death penalty against Stern in the case. And that is the catch up on all of that. And now we can just talk about things and play the videos. I wanted to catch everybody up. I don't like having a live and not having information. That's not my style. That's not our style.
Right.
We like to make sure everybody knows what we're talking about. We've had a lot of new subs and stuff. And if you feel like becoming a member, click that link up at the top. Become a member and join us. We've been really excited to be monetized and stuff, and just
and we're planning our first membership live, our first few, so it'd be exciting to have y'all with us. If not, no pressure, but we think
we just love seeing your faces here.
Our membership lives are going to be a little different than the way we do our regular live streams, and we're really excited for that. So thank you all for joining, and welcome to our new subs. I didn't even realize. So thanks for being here.
Yeah. So, she was found 5 days later And it was because there was a witness that saw him pulled over to the side of the road, possibly changing a tire, or he could have been just there pretending to do
Right.
that, because straight across the street was where her body was found, and behind this gated area. The owner of that property actually said that they felt really bad for leaving that gate open. They feel guilty. They feel like he wouldn't have been able to get back there to put her body back there if they wouldn't have left that gate open. But he was bound and determined, to find a place to put her. He had been driving around for 6 hours.
Yeah.
And her body was found in Osceola County, Osceola. If Yaya's was here, she would make fun of me. I'm pronouncing everything.
Yeah.
Um,
That's not a. We're from Oregon, and I swear, I mean, I'm sure a lot of the people watching, if you're not from Oregon, you might say Oregon differently. So
yeah,
tomato, tomato.
Oregon,
Yes, exactly. Oregon.
or Washington.
Yeah.
Yep. So let's throw up the press conference. So he talks for about 4 minutes, and then there's 4 minutes, and I may not even play all of the last 4 minutes simply because it's literally the DA's office saying over and over and over and over and over again, can't answer that, can't answer that. But there is a couple questions asked by reporters when he does say something kind of, I'm just like mouth dropped. Oh, so maybe mom is a suspect still. So, or she's not called that now, but
Yes.
maybe they're looking at her, I guess I should say. So let's check this out. Should we pause in between things that they're saying? If you hear anything, Kalia, that you feel like we should pause and talk about, just let me know. You
Okay.
know how this goes with me, court stuff. They're going to talk about stuff, and all I'm going to hear is wom, 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 wom.
Sounds good.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming. Today, the Kissimmee Police Chief and myself are here to provide an update on the death investigation on 13-year-old Madeline Soto, who was reported missing back on February 26th of this year and discovered dead 4 days later. I know the community and the media have been anxious for us to give an update on this case, and this is an opportunity for us to do that. For the last 7 weeks, 7.5 weeks actually, the Kissimmee Police Department and my office have been working closely to go over every piece of evidence that we could gather in this case. It was a voluminous and a lot of evidence to get through during that time, but we were successful in getting through it and making sure that we were able to provide the best case we could. Today we're announcing that Stephan Sterns has been indicted by the grand jury on first-degree murder for the killing of Madeline Soto. We presented the case to the grand jury. They returned an indictment earlier today.
Just going to pause right there a second.
Right. Thank goodness that.
Exactly. 7.5 weeks. It's like he hung himself is what he did, having all of that sick information in his phone.
Yeah.
Videos, pictures,
Yeah.
disgusting stuff.
Yeah. I
Kept
mean,
on a phone.
as
Ugh.
as a comparison, I know it's not exact the same. They're different states, they're different cases, but look at the Idaho 4 and Brian Kohlberger. And I know he also waived his right to a speedy trial. There's a lot into it, but I mean, it
Can you
took
answer me a
months.
question about the Kohlberger case?
Sure, I'll
Is
try.
that the family of Kroger?
Oh, I don't know. I've not.
Sorry.
I don't know
I
that
saw
one.
some stuff. I'm looking up Kroger stuff the other day in the Tylenol stuff. Anyway,
Oh,
and that kind of came up, and I thought I saw something. Never mind. Anyway, go
maybe.
ahead. I'm sorry to cut you off.
Oh, no worries. Just, it took a long time for them. Like, it felt like it actually was. I feel like maybe it was 8 weeks or so. Maybe not, maybe between 8 to 12 weeks it took for them to arrest him. It just is crazy. Yeah, like you said, it was fast. It feels like the justice system can move slow, but 7 weeks, that's actually fast. And thank goodness. I hate to say that. It's really not. Madeline never should have been put through what she went through or subjected to what she was subjected to.
I know I'm having a hard time saying things like I feel bad for her family because I kind of don't feel bad for anybody but like grandma and the rest of the family and everything else, because I'm really starting to think that mom maybe have had something to do with this. Yeah, I damn sure don't feel sorry for Stearns being locked
No.
up. I mean, he's not even talking. Did you guys know that? He hasn't went to any of his court appearances or anything. He actually had a court appearance this morning that he didn't show up for when they started putting out dates for later trials and stuff. He didn't even bother to come. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean, like, it with all this against him, the right thing to do is just plead guilty and say I'm guilty for this and let Madeline rest. And that, I mean, but of course he's probably just mentally ill, maybe a narcissist. Who knows? He's obviously a sick person, and he's gonna now subject her family to a trial. I hope not. Hopefully he pleads guilty. But trials aren't fun.
right.
It just
Well,
sucks
yeah,
that
and I
he's
mean
acting that way.
you have in that performance of a child. Performance of a child. So
Yeah.
there's actually, photos, videos of Madeline doing things. I really believe and I really hope and in my opinion feel like he's going down, and he's going way, way down
Did they
for what
did you,
he's done.
are they seeking the DP for him?
They're talking about it. We'll continue.
Okay.
Um, there has been some questions as related to the length of investigation. I just want to let you know again that my office and the Kissimmee Police Department have been working vigilantly in making sure that we had every opportunity to get every piece of evidence that we could. I want to thank the Kissimmee Police Department and their tireless efforts. They've done an amazing job in the heavy lift that we've asked them to do, as well as the prosecutors that have been assigned to this case and making sure that we got every piece of evidence reviewed and gathered in this case. While death investigations usually take around 5 to 6 weeks or longer, we were able to get this one done relatively quickly and get the case to the front of the grand jury, like I said earlier today, to return the indictment against Mr. Stephan Sterns. The death penalty in this case, we have not decided what decision we're going to make in that case. We're going to continue those discussions going forward, and we'll let you know again when we make that decision as to whether we're going to seek the death penalty in this case. I want to thank the grand jury for their hard work and their efforts in making sure that we're making this first step in seeking justice for Madeline Soto, for her family, and so the community can have closure in this case. The defendant will appear at initial appearances, I believe probably the next day or two. Then the case will proceed down its normal path, and we'll try to keep you abreast of how the case is moving, as well as you probably ask us questions to make sure that we are providing that proper information to keep you abreast of how the case is going down the normal path of the criminal justice system. I'd like now to introduce Chief of Police Betty Holland, and for her to provide comment.
Thank you, State Attorney Mr. Bain. Good afternoon, everyone. I want to thank the investigators and the other agencies that assisted us in uncovering the evidence to move forward with this case. We know this case has gained significant public attention because Madeline had just celebrated her 13th birthday and was just a child. The evidence shows an individual that was entrusted to keep Madeline safe made calculated moves to dispose Madeline's belongings and place her body in a wooded area before she was ever reported missing. For the 4 days following her disappearance, the entire community was actively looking to find Madeline safe and alive. Tragically, on March 1st, Madeline's remains were found. Our detectives have worked tirelessly to piece together the events leading up to Madeline's disappearance and death. With the collaboration of the State's Attorney's Office, we prepared the case for the grand jury that was heard today. The grand jury determined that our department secured enough evidence to obtain a first-degree murder indictment. We appreciate each grand jury member for their careful consideration. We want to thank the diligent work of the state's attorney's office, the medical examiner's office, and our other law enforcement partners who assisted with this investigation. Your expertise and dedication were instrumental in uncovering the truth. The indictment signifies a crucial step forward in our quest for justice and a testament to our commitment to honoring Madeline's memory. We will now take questions.
You won't be able to hear any of the questions, just letting you guys know.
Right, I'm going to defer to the state's attorney.
Good afternoon. Although an indictment has been returned this afternoon, it is still an open and ongoing criminal investigation. So much of this information cannot be disclosed until Mr. Sterns' attorney, if he does so, elects to participate in discovery, and then all of you in the media know how to go about seeking information through public records.
And I don't know if you guys know it, but he only has a court-appointed attorney.
Yeah.
Not a paid attorney, a court-appointed attorney. Just a FYI for everyone.
Not that we've uncovered. State attorney?
Again, all questions about the facts of the case are not subject to disclosure because of public records laws at this time. Once his attorney participates in discovery, then you can make public records requests through your normal channels as you do in other cases. At this time, the only person being charged is Stephan Sterns.
This is where it gets a little suspicious for me when it comes to the mom.
And again, this is not over. There is an ongoing investigation to uncover more evidence, and therefore we can't comment.
This is not over. This is an ongoing investigation. This is not over. That, to me, is just really telling.
Yes, it is.
That's huge. This is political mumbo jumbo here, but I understand that.
Yeah.
I mean,
if they were confident, then I feel like they would say that, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, and sorry, but like the rest of this is him just saying over and over and over again, you know, we can't comment. Let's see if there's anything else after this, but I'm pretty sure this is where it starts. No comment, no comment.
There's going to be the same response on any question about the facts of the case. Through the facts of the case.
So with any death case that is reviewed by my office, when it's determined to be a homicide, we have to look at the statutory aggravating factors that are laid out in our Florida law. Once we've determined that we have sufficient evidence to prove those factors to the proper evidentiary standard, then we had to have to talk about whether this is a death penalty case. And that's a discussion that we're still going to be having for the next couple of weeks to make sure that we're making a legal decision that's appropriate in this case.
Leading up to this, have there been any discussions with Mr. Sterns, considering there's so many other factors, very little people you guys are looking into? Has he decided to participate in your investigation?
I'll leave that for Mr. Will.
Cannot comment on whether Mr. Sterns has been doing anything. He has counsel. And as far as plea offers, no, there are no plea offers made on the open case. You can address that question with the indictment that should be on the clerk's website if it's not already.
I'm going to have to defer to the state's attorney.
Yeah, I'm just going to take this down now because this is where it just goes into one right after the other. We cannot talk about it. So there you have it. I feel like mom or somebody else is getting investigated here.
Yeah.
Because there was a man that only lived 4 miles away from where Madeline's body was found. And the I want to say marshals, but that's not the right word. Um, basically the United States, I can't remember how to say that. So they went in, kicked the door down after getting a warrant to go search this man's property. Um, and his son had hurt himself, and there was all kinds of um, S pornography, if you guys get what I mean. There was just a bunch of stuff that shouldn't have been there in the home. This was 4 miles away, and Stephan Sterns had one of them on his Facebook.
I was going to say, I mean, even if it's not necessarily Madeline's mom after all, because really we don't know. But it could uncover a whole ring of people connected to him that he is exchanging this stuff with, you know?
Yeah,
Um,
and talked about a ring kind of situation on Crime Lines and Lies. I just don't have any verifiable information to put up to like show
even if,
anything.
yes, right.
We were just kind of speculating really about it because one of these men was um his friend on Facebook. And they were both into all of the sickening stuff that
Right.
Stephan was into. They both had all of that kind of stuff, pictures and videos and everything else. And the older man was taken into custody, but the younger man actually pew-pewed himself in the head. Like, bye-bye. Before, because he didn't want to be arrested.
Wow.
So, yeah. I have the court documents here too. I don't know if you had a chance to read the court documents or not, but on these court documents, does it say premeditated?
I
Because
read it. I didn't see it myself. Let me go and find the clear version. Just a second.
yeah, if you want to read this and kind of go over it, because you understand the court documents more than I do, but
Well, this
somebody mentioned
is,
inside the Madeline Soto group something about premeditated.
let's see, first degree. Um, this says, in the name and by the authority of the state of Florida, the grand jurors of the county of Osceola, duly called, impaneled, and sworn to inquire and true presentment make in and for the body of the county of Osceola upon their oaths do present that do present that Stephen Michael Sterns on or between the 25th day of February 2024 and the 27th day of February 2024 in said county and state. He did in violation of the statute. From a premeditated design to affect the unalive of Madeline Soto, a human being unlawfully unalive Madeline Soto, a true bill. So this is from the grand jury. It's actually the indictment, the true bill. When a grand jury is voting to indict somebody one way or the other, they issue either a true bill, which means yes, we do vote to indict them on these charges, or a not true bill means no, we don't find that that it was likely that they committed a crime, because that's what grand juries are. They're not there to determine if somebody's guilty or innocent. They're there to determine, does the state have enough evidence against a person to actually say that a crime likely occurred from said person, or said person committed a crime.
So when it talks about premeditated there, what is that talking about?
From a premeditated design, I am gonna look it up.
Because I honestly believe that I think he watched her phone. And she, Madeline is saying on her phone, like, I'm going to run away. I'm going to go live in the woods when I turn 13. I think he saw that. We also know that she was talking to people. She had told friends what was going on. So I think in this premeditative way, he knew he was going to be doing something with her because she's starting to talk and he can't get busted. That's the whole reason why he's trying to eliminate everything from his phone.
Right.
You
Exactly.
know?
You're exactly right. And also, what stood out to me is that she was reported missing on the 26th.
Mhm.
And this says on or between the 25th and the 27th.
Well, that's because autopsy reports probably said something to the effect of Madeline Soto died between this and this time because her body had been outside in the heat for 4 days. So determining time of death, I would assume, in my opinion, I believe that that's probably what this is talking about. It would be hard for them to determine her time of death. So they're probably just like giving an estimate and then that follows on into the court proceedings. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I just wonder because doesn't the other affidavit that came out earlier say that that Madeline's mom saw her that morning? So I
I
guess,
actually have a news clip. I'll
okay.
play it. If you want to go over what this is real quick, and then we'll go on to what Madeline mom said originally in the very beginning.
These look like this is the online case file. So what the DA was saying is you can go online and once this is released you can order it through the public record. This is what you would find to do so. There are basically going to keep track of all of his court dates. Every court filing will be listed in this website. So
Okay.
since this is related to his the unaliving charges specifically and not the CP charges, that's why it says date of arrest, because today was the day that he actually faced the charges and had an arraignment. An arraignment is when you're basically told these are the charges you have.
Right.
Yep. So we'll keep
I
an
want
eye
to
on this.
throw,
And
since we were talking about the coroner and everything else, I want to throw up a video. It does play a tiny bit of the phone call by the grandmother, but it's what it says about why the autopsy report can't be shared that I find really important. I'm going to throw that up and then we're going to go over mom's videos. And then I've got Madeline's dad also talking to the news. I have to pull it up and put it on here though, because I had taken it away because I didn't know that grandma's was in the 911 calls. And what did I name it? Yep, it was this one. Okay, here it comes.
Hearing the 911 calls made in the case of Madeline Soto. The 13-year-old from Osceola County was reported missing in February and found dead days later.
We have a missing child since this morning. We already called 3 times, and the police didn't show up yet. They're waiting for a deputy response.
Yes, ma'am.
And how long more do we need to wait? It's a child missing.
I understand that, ma'am, but I'm just not able to give out ETA. I don't know when they'll be there.
So how long do we need to wait? This
Ma'am,
is an emergency.
Ma'am, we have the information, but they're trying to get there someone as soon as possible.
So this is not important for you guys? Really?
Investigators say Madeline's mother's boyfriend, Stephan Sterns, was supposed to take her to school, but she never made it there. The medical examiner's office overseeing this case says it can't release Soto's cause of death. It's all because she is a minor and her death was related to an act of domestic violence. Documents revealed Sterns sexually abused her for years.
Yeah, it mentions the domestic violence, which I actually thought like, wow, they're considering this an act of domestic violence. and can't share the reports because she's a minor because of domestic violence. I don't know. I just found it strange that it's even being called like, domestic violence at all.
Yeah, I know.
And then here is her mom and her stories fluctuating in the very beginning after Madeline disappeared.
It's about the timeline are not consistent. Jennifer Soto told us last week that the last conversation she had with her daughter was about her 13th birthday party the night before Maddie disappeared.
I told her good night and yeah, that was it.
But according to documents, Sunday night was not the last time Soto saw Maddie. New documents show that Maddie's mom told deputies on February 26th that she saw her daughter getting dressed for school at 8 o'clock that morning.
Can you see your daughter getting dressed in the morning? How? They know that Stephan hurt her sometime in the early morning hours is what it was reported. And she is saying that she saw her daughter dressed for school. I had to look into all of this. I had to send this information to Kalia. I had to say, are they saying that she saw her? Or is the date different? Because on this affidavit, they have the date wrong. So I'm like, what else do they have wrong in this affidavit?
Yeah.
And I was just, like.
I can't believe that. I didn't know that there was a story change like that. That's a vast difference. The night before from the morning of.
Well, and it goes on. Check this out. Because you don't know this case like I know this case. I forget that. So you get to see everything firsthand. But yeah, listen to what else changes.
And that her boyfriend. A report was taken. We learned from the Orange County Sheriff that Maddie was likely dead earlier than that.
Our detectives have determined that Madeline was never dropped off. Instead, we believe she was already dead at the time and that Stephan Sterns moved her body in the early morning hours on that day.
Channel 9 has been going through statements from Stephan Sterns and Soto trying to piece together what happened in the last few hours of the little girl's life, starting with our interview of the couple. Her mom told us last week.
We dropped her off at school, close to school.
Right there, she says, we dropped her. We dropped her off at school.
She wanted to walk the rest of the way.
But in that same interview, then said,
I wasn't the one who took her to school in the morning. That was
I wasn't the one who took her to school this morning.
my partner. But yeah.
Detective.
That was my partner. First she says we, then she says he. And that's during the same interview.
Yeah, like,
and,
wow. And she's like consoling him and rubbing his back, like she's that's your daughter, and you're consoling him like that. Like he's the one sobbing, and you're like rubbing his back.
Do you know that after they found all of that stuff on his camera, and after he was arrested, she was still trying to stick up for him? She still wanted to talk to him. That right there sends out huge red flags. If you know that all that was found on your phone, why would you want anything to do with this guy? Why wouldn't you be screaming from the rooftops, give him the unalive penalty?
Right. Oh my gosh. There's no explanation. I mean, a lot of us are mothers. I know Samantha, myself, we're mothers. I can't even imagine. My goodness.
Yeah, I'm not sure what else is in this.
Just believe Maddie was likely dead early Monday morning because the video timeline shows Maddie's belongings being dumped in a dumpster at 7:35 by Sterns. At 8:19, Sheriff Mina said video shows Maddie in Sterns' vehicle believed to be deceased. Since then, the case has moved to Kissimmee police, and sources tell us that Soto has been interviewed multiple times by detectives at 2 agencies, and that they are looking closely at all the statements she's made. But
So there you have them saying they're looking close at all of her statements that have been made. So yeah, they're looking, at mom. And when I first covered this case, I was actually one of those people, mom, may not be involved. Let's not jump the gun here because it was so early on. Um, and, I was wrong. I was really wrong. I was trying to say, well, maybe she said we drove her to school because it was always a we thing that they did. Maybe they always went together. Maybe that day it was just him because of the
Yeah,
situation. And I was
right.
trying to stick up for
Benefit of
her
the doubt.
in any way, shape, and form that I could. Actually, me and Yaya have been back and forth on this, whether we believe it or not. And now I'm just really starting to believe that mom may have something to do with it. That's just my opinion. That's just me speculating. I have to say that. But yeah,
Yeah, we'll have to
it's
wait and
very
see.
disturbing. Yeah. And then here is the interview done with dad. It's not the full interview. I will find the full interview and put it together when we do another update on the case, because there is court dates going to be coming up over the summer. So I'm sure we'll be doing that again. It's just absolutely heartbreaking to see. So just a little bit of a warning here. Dad's, he's broken.
Frustrated and heartbroken.
Yeah, it was a difficult interview. The last time Tyler Wallace saw his daughter was in October, but he said he did talk to her on her birthday. That was just days before she was reported missing. He said he had no idea it would be the last time. He told me it was Jen Soto who called him to let him know that Maddie was dropped off at school, but then never made it. So he got in his truck, came to Florida right away to help look for her. In the meantime, a man he knew was in his daughter's life was charged with sexual battery. Just as that news set in, Maddie's body was then found dumped in the woods in Osceola County. How did you find out?
I was informed through a phone call from Jennifer that she was missing. We weren't sure if she was actually missing or if she was staying at a friend's house at the time. We were trying to wait to see if she showed up, and by the second day I couldn't wait anymore. So I drove down to Florida. I love what I had of her, but we were supposed to have so much more, and I can't grasp it. I can't grasp it.
I can't grasp it either. Who would do something like that to a young lady? She had the rest of her life ahead of her. Thank God she had a great day at her grandma's house with family and her birthday party. That's the only thing I think I can hold on to. It really just breaks my heart to see the father so broken. And everybody was wondering, where's dad? Where is he? We aren't seeing pictures. We're not hearing from him. He really just stayed away from everything. But in this interview, you find out that he came right away. By the time he gets there, he's finding out that Stearns is arrested and for the reasons why he was arrested. And then not even in Florida for a couple of days, and boom, she's found.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely, I can only imagine how he felt at that time. I know a lot of us parents will just be like, I don't want to say it on YouTube because it's not appropriate, but he probably wanted to unalive Stephen himself right there. And
oh yeah,
my
well,
goodness,
he
that
said
was
in there it talks about being, or the reporter says that mom and a friend of his taking care of. So this guy was kind of like his friend. So they must have talked, and everything else. Yeah, because he was a part of Madeline's
yeah.
life.
Mm-hmm. It was somebody trusted. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't sound like people really suspected it, at least not that we are publicly aware of. We haven't heard the aunt come out and say, I knew it, or
Right.
anything to speak out against Stephen. But can I just say, he does look like a creepy mofo, if you ask me.
Yeah.
That he looks creepy through and through, all in all. I mean, he's just got a creepy look, creepy energy, creepy vibe, and just freaking disgusting.
Yeah, it does. It says that the court records show that Stearns is being represented by a public defender. Um, Stearns has not yet appeared in court after being arrested on February 28th. He was scheduled to appear in court on those charges on March 2nd, but was a no-show for his first appearance. He was arrested amid the Madeline Soto case, but has not been charged for her murder. But yes, he was today on April 24th, 2024. Those were the unrelated charges, the 60 charges in his original arrest. And yeah, it's just sickening. 60 counts of all different kinds of stuff. S battery on a child, lewd and lascivious acts on a child, 40 counts.
That's
40 counts of
outrageous.
lawful possession of materials depicting as performance by a child. That's the one that 4D.
Yeah, I'm glad he's behind bars, and I wonder, I almost, if I'm going to guess, I would guess that yes, they are going to go for the DP. That's just my guess. That's a
I
lot of
actually believe
charges.
that too. You know, and let's just thank God Stearns was an idiot.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
real. Not only keeping all of that information on his phone, but just the mention of I accidentally factory reset my phone. You know, I don't know if you've seen the news stuff. You should go and look. If you think he looks like a creeper and you think her rubbing him is creepy, you should see his actual interview he does with reporters talking and pretending to cry, and just it is nauseating. I couldn't even look at his face. I was going to put that up here on this live. It's in the other live, but yeah, I wasn't putting it up on this one. I
Oh, good.
didn't want to
Yeah.
see it. It's just gross. And now that I've read like the entire affidavit and all 60 charges, like I've read the entire thing. It's not good.
Yeah. Well, still an open investigation.
Yeah. Let's
I
just
wonder
see
what else
where else this goes.
Yeah, I am curious to see. I wonder what the trial will look like. He's knowing that he's not cooperating, what the defense is going to say. It's just going to be really hard for Madeline's family. And yeah, I just can't wait to get through it for their sake, to just get over it, because I know, like I said, trials are just a lot and really hard on the people who are impacted the most, Madeline's loved ones that do care and that were good people in her life.
Yeah, and thank goodness for the police doing a great job on their searches, for witnesses coming forward. I'm really thankful that this wasn't some kind of abduction, because the police would have really dropped the ball on this one, not showing up after the 911 calls. And I think that's my only complaint in this entire thing.
Yeah.
She had already gone by then, but hey, Chuck, nice to see you.
Hello.
We are having a great night. We are just talking about Stephan Sterns being charged with murder in the Madeline Soto case. We are super happy about this. 7.5 weeks have went by, and yeah, it is it's on its way to being over. It's the beginning of the end, I think, for Stephan Sterns, in my opinion. Oh my gosh, I feel so bad for the dad. It's heartbreaking. It really is, Susie. It really is. We appreciate everybody being here. Sorry that it was so spur of the moment, and YouTube didn't have a chance to send out too many notifications right away. Chuck's like, I've got 3 creators all on at the same time. Yep.
That's the way it goes.
Yeah. I didn't even check to see if anybody was going to be on during this time. We usually always go 7:30, because that's right after Kaylee's boys go night-night. And we just wanted to hop on here real quick and let everybody know what the update was and Madeline's case. And it looks like we're going to get some justice.
Moving full steam ahead. That's right. She deserves it. Justice for Madeline.
Yep. Alrighty. It's a short one. Kaylia, this is like half of the time that we usually spend online.
Right.
We do have,
I know.
we do have another live coming tomorrow night on Kyron Horman, though. I went out and took a bunch of videos. Kaylia joined me last weekend to take some videos in the area where Kyron came up missing. So we're going to go over all of these videos, talk about it, kind of do like a Q&A or something. And then we'll be doing our first member show probably early this next week. And then we'll have another show for you at the end of next week. So lots of shows coming up for you guys. Glad you're all here. Please consider becoming a member. It's up at the pinned spot in the chats. And yeah, we really appreciate everybody coming and being here. And justice for Madeline.
Amen. Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Thank you, Kaylia. Nice to see you. Have a good
You
night,
too.
hon.
Bye.
Bye.